Hello, this is Chariot Tarot, and today I'll be doing a review of the Book of Azathoth Tarot Cards. Now, I happen to have the 7th edition. They're numbered, and they give you a little card when you get them. They come from Nemo's Locker, and I have set number 49 of 1500. I guess that's the run. They'll do a run of 1500 per edition. They do not come with a book, a guidebook. They are Rider-Waite version of cards, so all the cards will follow a Rider-Waite style. Now, when they send them out to you, they also give you a little handwritten card, which I seem to have misplaced, but it has a picture of a raven on it and a little handwritten note, thanks for shopping with Nemo's Locker. And they give you this little, I got a little pendant in here, it's hard to see. I can get it to focus, there we go. Looks like a little acorn, like a little Celtic acorn, and then on the back it says start small, I believe. There we go. It comes with the set of cards. And they give you this little note here, tells you the set number that you got. Now the artwork is all kind of, I'd say H.P. Lovecraftian inspired, a lot of Cuthulu kind of themes. The cards are very big, and I'll show you. This is the size of a normal tarot card right here, and this is the size of a normal playing card. They're also very thick, so they don't bend. You can hear them flopping there, so they take a while to break in. But they're very high quality. The artwork on them is I happen to like Cuthulu. I've read some H.P. Lovecraft stuff. I like the imagery, and if you know the books, the H.P. Lovecraft books, and specifically the Cuthulu mythos, then you will be able to identify better with the cards. It's unfortunate that they do not send you a book to get more of like the artist's interpretation of what he thinks the cards mean. So it comes in a box. The box is pretty sturdy, but it doesn't really tell you much. It doesn't even tell you who the artist was that did them. There's the website for Nemo's Locker. They have a bunch of different witchy kind of items to get, and a couple of different tarot decks. This seems to be the main item they sell, is this tarot deck. I like it. I've used it a few times, not a lot, but a few times. It really goes better if the client is also kind of into it. It's kind of like a Halloween deck, but it is a Rider-Waite deck, so all the images are going to be Rider-Waite inspired, so it's not that hard to connect to. If you know your Rider-Waite cards, then it's not really a leap, it's not a stretch to get to this deck. So I'm just going to go ahead and go through the flip through, let you guys see what you get, and it's not much. Like I said, you don't get a book, but the artwork is more what you'd be connecting with. So if you like kind of a darker style deck, see there, it looks like Lord Cuthulu there, kind of. Then you probably would like this deck. It really depends. I like whipping out different decks all the time to try and improve my intuition. So sometimes I'll get a deck that I don't know anything about and try and read with it. Now, if you look closely at the pictures, it kind of gives you, a little bit to work with. Like I said, it's mostly Rider-Waite. But as you go through the images, there's what I like about these cards is they'll have like when I get to the minor arcana, they'll have a little bit of what the artist's definition will be written on the card. There's a little bit to go with. But I always like to look at what's going on in the card. Kind of like live in the card, see what's going on in the images. Which way is the protagonist in the card facing? You know, are there barriers? Is there action going on? Does the person look perturbed? Does the person look surprised? Those kind of things. No real surprises in the major arcana. They're all pretty much standard Rider-Waite, but with like a dark twist. So if this was like a Halloween reading, these would fit right in there. Or if you just generally liked the style, if you connect with the style and you're familiar with the H.P. Lovecraft, Cuthulu mythos, you could really get into this deck. You know, this is pretty much straight up right there, like a Rider-Waite style Ace of Cups, but with a little bit of the twist in the artwork. Now, we're getting into, so if you see at the top of the card there, you got Two of Cups, and then you got Love. Love there. So all of these cards in the minor arcana pretty much have a little definition that will go along with the card, so it kind of gives you a little bit of idea for your readings. Real little one word kind of thing there. Now, luxury for the Four of Cups is a little weird. There's a lot of other little meanings, but you know, if you're going to go strictly by what the artist is trying to get to you, you know, maybe you have a lot but you're not realizing it, and that could be luxury. You know, you're taking things for granted, and you can only do that when you're in a position of having an abundance of options. So I could see the artist's interpretation for that. And so is disappointment, which is pretty straight up there. We got pleasure, Six of Cups. Yeah, that's also the nostalgia card. So, but it's a little different than your regular definitions on some of them. But this was debauch. And you know, the regular definition for the Seven of Cups could be, you know, confusion, or you know, not realizing your dreams there, or having to make choices. A lot of different definitions for this particular card, but the artist chose debauch, or I guess that's debauchery. You know, so interesting. Some of them are pretty much, you know, happiness for the Nine of Cups. Pretty much straight up what you would expect. Some of them are a little different. Satiety. And then this one, instead of pages, we have princesses, which a lot of decks have. That's not highly unusual. You know, princes are knights, and all of the knights are riding some form of a beast in this deck, which I think is pretty cool. And all the cups here, you have the Cuthulu from the sea kind of creatures. It's pretty neat. Alright, moving on to wands. And yeah, pretty much straight up Ace of Wands there, not anything shocking. And then going right into the definitions, this one is Dominion. And these look like little devils or satyrs. Real definition there. Completion. I like this deck, and if you'd like a reading with it, I'm more than happy to give you one. Just go to the end of the channel, shoot me an email with your question, and I'll get a reading up for you. You can request any deck that I've shown on this channel. Pretty much, if you prefer a reading from a particular deck, feel free to say so. So we got the little satyr here for the page. Kind of a devil. There, he's riding some type of hippogriff kind of thing there. It's kind of neat. I really do like the artwork here. It's different. It's not your usual bright, colorful artwork. So it's, you know, if you like switching up decks like I do, it's something different to move on to. Go on to swords here. Pretty much standard. Now peace, that's kind of a weird choice for this card. I guess those little words at the top, that's basically your book for the cards. You know, most decks come with some type of, even a little tiny little book with words you got to get a magnifying glass out to see. So this is it. You get your little word at the top there. That's for your artist interpretation of what's going on in the card. Make sure I try and get all the card and then the definition up there for you so you can look at it. Now the swords, they all look like, the court cards all look like angels. Oh, that angel's riding a weird looking horse there. Could be like fairies maybe, with their long ears there. Yeah, I guess they're fairies. And last with Pentacles. Now, failure for the 7. That's an odd one to be put in there, because failure in most Rider-Waite's for the 7 of Pentacles just means you got to put in more work. You know, so a little bit of difference going on there. Now all of these Pentacle court cards, they just look like normal humans, but not any great departure from what you would see in a normal Rider-Waite deck. Alright, and this has been Chariot Tarot. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you really liked it, you could subscribe. That always helps me out. If you'd like a free reading, go to the end, go to the About section on the channel and shoot me an email with your question. And if you have a deck that you've requested that I've reviewed, you can toss that in there too, and I'll try and get it up on the channel as quickly as possible. Thank you.